Okay, so you clicked on this video because you want to know how to change the headlights or the fog lights in your brand new Jeep Cherokee. Today we're going to be doing it on a 2015 Jeep Cherokee Trailhawk. This works for, I believe, Jeep Cherokees all the way up to 2020. So it's the same process. You have to make sure you have the correct headlights, obviously. So what you're going to need for this job is you're going to need a flathead screwdriver, an 8mm, and some sort of pry tool. You don't really need the pry tool. It makes it a little bit easier. You can use a screwdriver for the pry tool as a substitute. The headlight bulb is a 9012. It looks sort of like this. They cost me $73, which is absorbent. You have to make sure that your car does not have the HID headlights, because if it does, this is a completely different process, and obviously I don't have that access to that vehicle, so we can't show you how to do that, and it's a little bit more of an expensive job. As far as the fog lights go, the bulb size is going to be a 2504. You don't have much selection like an AutoZone for that. If you want some kind of more of a fancy bulb, you're going to have to pretty much get it online, but we're going to go somewhere tonight where we need the headlights and the fog lights, so we had to pretty much, we're at the mercy of AutoZone, so we got this, just the basic Sylvania bulbs. So without further ado, let's get on to installing the headlights and fog lights. What I'm going to do is I'm going to install the headlights first and then the fog lights. So I'll put a timestamp in the description if you are just looking to change your fog lights, so you don't have to watch the entire first half of the video. But if you want to do me a favor, you could watch the first half of the video to up my watch time and get my ranking up. So anyway, here we go. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is, I don't know if you can see this, but I turn the wheel in this way. You want to do that because you have to access this panel right here. So I'm going to zoom in and show you. There's a screw right there, and then there's three of them. So there's one there, there, and there. Let's try to focus. So once we get those screws undone, that's what we're going to use the 8mm for. We're going to actually peel this panel back. Let me zoom out. We're actually going to peel this panel back, and we're going to be able to access the headlight and the fog light from the same panel. So that's what we're going to do right now. I'm going to show you. Obviously, I'm going to do it on camera. This job should not take you very long at all. So you got one down here in the bottom. How are you doing? Yeah, we're doing great. You need help me? I might need your help. Got a little helper over here. Good job. Can you take our picture? And we got the screw up here. I don't know if you can see that on camera. And then we have another one right here. Right here. So we got 1, 2, 3. Leave those screws there, baby. We're gonna have to put those back in. Okay, I got my little helper here, obviously. So now we're gonna do, we got the screws out. You can kind of pull this back a little bit. Put the pry tool in here and just kind of go like this. Like so, all the way down. And as you can see, it just pries back like this. And we're gonna get you a little video in here to show you what we're actually gonna be removing next. Okay, so this is where it's peeled back. If you see that up there, kind of towards the top, that thing right there, we're gonna screw that off. That's where the headlight's gonna go. So that's the first thing we're gonna do is stick our hand in there and unscrew that. It should just be like a quarter turn. So, well, maybe you can do it. Well, I can't get my other arm in there, but you get the point. So we give it a turn, and then it comes off. It looks like this. There's going to be sort of a packet here. You do not want to take this packet off. Make sure when you put this back on, this packet's here. This is like soaks up the moisture. And there's like a little O-ring here too. So make sure the O-ring is put back in, because when you take it out, it kind of pops out of place. So that's step number 1 for the headlight. Okay, so now that we got that off, stop. The headlight is in here too. You do a little turn to the left. There's a wire that's connected to it. You probably can't see it. This is where the screwdriver can come in handy. So you kind of want to make sure you don't break it. So this is the bulb. There is a wire that's connected onto here. And you got to make sure, if it's cold out, the plastic will be really brittle, so you don't want to break it, because if you break that, that's the only thing that holds the harness into the headlight. So you be very careful with the screwdriver and just kind of wiggle this, and it'll come right off. So this is the bad bulb. Obviously it's burnt out. I don't know if you can see that in focus. Let's go back to autofocus. So this is the bad bulb. So now what we're gonna do is, we want to take the new bulb and we want to put it in the hole in there and twist it in before we connect the harness. And the most important thing is, you do not want to touch the bulb with your fingers. Obviously it's already burnt, because you touch the bulb with your finger, it gets the oil on there. When it heats up, it'll last you maybe maybe 10 hours. So we'll be right back. I'm gonna try to show you guys where the wire is. This is the wire right here. That's what it looks like. And then that is where, obviously, the light goes into there. Let me see if I can get it a little bit brighter. Crank that ISO. There's a hole in there. That's where the bulb is going to go. Like I said, very carefully. You do not want to touch this bulb with your fingers. We're going to put it in the hole. It only goes in one way. There are these tabs. You got to make sure it's in the right way. And then you give it a little turn to the right, and it should stay in. So be very careful when you put it in the hole so you don't touch this to the edges either. You should be able to see in here pretty easily if you're doing this in the daytime. And twist, boom. Now that's in. Why did we do that first? Because if we have the wire connected, there's a chance you're going to touch. It's such a tight space. There's a chance you're going to touch the bulb when you try to connect the wire. So now that it's in secure, there's no chance for us touching it. We're going to take the wire and we're going to put it inside the housing, and we're going to connect it. You got to move, Blake. So now that's in. We just reverse this and put this back up, and again, make sure that the packet's in there. Put it in, and you turn it to the right until it clicks shut. That is how you install the headlights in the Jeep Cherokee. So the next step we're going to do is the fog lights. So here we go. Okay, so that is the fog light. It's down towards the bottom. There's going to be a clip here and a clip here. Now the brown part is part of the bulb, so if that breaks, it's not a huge deal, but you do not want to break the gray part, because that is the housing for the fog lights, and that will, if you break that, the bulb's not going to stay in, and you're going to have to literally replace the whole housing, which is going to be a big pain. So what we're going to do is, first thing we're going to do is we're going to unhook the harness. It just presses up here. You can go like this, and then it pulls right out of the bulb. So that's what we're going to do. Hopefully we can get this on camera. We'll try. So that unhooked. So move this to the side, and then we're going to take the bulb out. It's fairly difficult to get this bulb out, especially when your hands are freezing, but that's what the screwdriver you're going to use that for. You're going to want to kind of get it in here and kind of wiggle it around until this pops out. Again, do not break the gray part. Be very careful with taking this bulb out. So we're going to put the camera down because we need to finesse it. So again, with this bulb, you do not want to touch the bulb with your finger. So we're going to go ahead and very carefully open this package. My hands are icicles right now. It's like 30 degrees out. And again, this bulb just goes in and it'll snap in. There's only one way to put it in. You see, like there's a guide here with two. I think that's on the bottom. So just make sure that this guide is on the bottom. So like this, and you'll hear it click in, click, click, and then you connect the harness. And again, the harness will click in. So now that we got the bulbs back in, you obviously just want to reverse this step. So we just take this, make sure everything is in. Now we take our screws, and there's 3 of them again, and we just put them in the holes and screw them back. And that's literally how simple it is to install the headlights and fog lights on a Jeep Cherokee Trailhawk. And again, this works for 2015 all the way up to 2020 Jeep Cherokees, as long as you don't have the HID factory headlights. So please like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. I'm trying to get my face in here. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell your coworkers. So for life, peace, and you're welcome.